Welcome to Everyday Roses. I'm sitting out here in the park right next to the river and it's just gorgeous out. So I brought my Bible out. I only have 2 of my 5 kids today. They're supposed to be doing schoolwork, but there's one laying down. One laying down and one over there on the river somewhere. Quiet time. Quiet time, peaceful time, and I've got my Bible out. So I was going to share how I read the Bible. Oh my gosh, you see that? I'm just leaning on my nose. How I read the Bible. I got this Bible just a couple years ago, kind of as a brand new on fire for God Christian. Right when I really wanted to start reading it, because I never had, that was a loud truck. I never had fire or interest, or I don't know if it was that, but it was more like I was overwhelmed by picking up this huge book with all these words, and it was so important, but I don't know that I would read it right or understand it. I mean, there's so many different names and cities that I can't even speak right. See, I can't even speak right now. How am I supposed to read this book? So I got this Bible then, and I didn't read it for the first couple years I had it. I basically started reading the Bible about 8 months ago in June of 2019, after I had a personal miracle. And I prayed to God that the hunger I felt for food, the hunger I felt for, or the craving I felt for sugar and chocolate, those kinds of feelings that just couldn't be fulfilled by anything else. I wanted that same feeling when I looked at the Bible. I wanted to just consume the Bible. I wanted the desire. I prayed for the desire to read His Word and be in the Word, because I didn't know what that meant, but I knew there was something special there. So soon after I prayed that prayer, I literally felt like the words that I would just open the Bible, the words would come off the page and just into my mouth, into my body, and feed me like literal food. And it felt so satisfying, and it's continued. Of course, we have good and bad days with quiet time and choosing the right things and not being distracted and all that. But so from me praying that prayer and God answering it and making me have this desire that was not quenched by anything else. Like, it's just His Word that's going to quench that desire. And it's been really cool. It's been really, really cool. So how do I get started reading it? Like, it's huge. So I'm going to show you the Bible I have that I got a couple years ago that I didn't use for the first couple years I had it. And it's the She Reads Truth Bible. I just knew I needed something that I could read easily and had words that I could understand easily, so I could start out and not be overwhelmed by it. It's a Christian Standard Bible, which I'm just now like getting my feet wet on the different translations. I think that's the word. And so I don't know a lot of the difference. I know like the thee and the thou is like King James, but because we memorize that with our homeschool stuff. But this is Christian Standard Bible. She Reads Truth, and I love that it has like the index tabs, and I'm going to show you that I highlight in it, I write in it. I was always scared to, like, this is His holy word. How am I supposed to write in it, highlight? I don't want to wrinkle the pages, but His Word is to be studied and to be yearned for, and He wants you to learn it and spend time with Him through reading the Word. So this is just how I read it now, where I am, and so I want to share it with you. Let's see. So it's the She Reads Truth, and look, is it backwards? Yeah, it's going to be backwards, but that's okay. So it has these cool indexes, so whenever I'm looking for a book of the Bible, I don't know where the books are. I'm getting a feel of Old Testament versus New Testament, like the beginning and an end part of the book. I'm just now getting a feel of that. The boys know the books of the Bible. These are the books of the Bible. I'm just too old to memorize that song. They know it. They can tell me. So I love that it has the indexes. And y'all, if I get bitten by ants, you may hear me scream. And this case is awesome because the She Reads Truth is pretty thick. It's pretty heavy, pretty thick. I got the hardcover. They make it, I think they said they have extra pages than other ones because they add in some artwork, some pretty stuff, quotations of the scripture. They give a whole page of the timeline and background, message and purpose of each book, who wrote it, when it was written, how to read it, and even going back deeper, going to different books that relate. You know, I love when they weave old and new together. You know, when you can see, you know, the prophecies versus the prophecies being realized with Jesus. So that is really cool. I love when they have these little devotional pages. So in the chapters, they'll have these devotional pages with scripture and, you know, someone else's take on that scripture. So it's their opinion on it, but it just gives you a little bit of a view of what it could mean for your life or how to apply it to your life. So that's really neat. This case is great too because it has pockets, and we are women and we love pockets and we fill all the things in all the pockets. So I usually keep like gum, pens, pencils, stuff like that in there. And then down here, like I love the Bible, the gel highlighters because they don't bleed through and they just kind of leave a good, let's see. I'll show you. So you can see that it's behind this page. Maybe you can see that. So it's on the other page, but it's not going to bleed through. I mean, I write with pens and pencils, like whatever I have. And so, like, don't be scared. Don't be scared to put how God is relating that scripture in your mind. Write it down on the paper. Write the date that you read it. Write the date that you have a revelation about it, or that your pastor says it in church. It's just really neat to look back and see, like, oh, that's when I read this. This is when it really struck me, and that's when I finally understood what that scripture meant. So that's kind of my layout of my Bible. I always keep a little journal handy too, in case there's more things I want to write down besides just in the sides of the pages. Right now I'm learning how to read the Bible. So I'm doing a couple books with some friends. I'm doing John. And so let me go to John. See, John, it's a gospel, so it's a New Testament. See? I know things. And also it has a little, I can cheat, and it tells me where John is. So what's cool about reading with friends is they keep you accountable. You can stay on a schedule with them, but it's not like you're judging each other or teaching each other. It's more of just sharing and being accountable and remembering to do your scripture that day. So it's really been great for me to read one chapter a week. So I'm reading that one chapter every day, or most days. It hasn't been every day, but most days for a week. And then you go to the next chapter. So you're really digging in deep and you're reading between the lines, and you can look up commentaries or go to Bible Project and watch the video on the chapter. It's really neat to just dig into one chapter for that whole week. So if you take it and think about it that way, you're only reading one chapter of one book of the Bible for a whole week, most of the days in the week. And that's only a couple paragraphs. That's totally doable. Everyone can do that. And then you're just digging in, and you have your friends to say, what does this really mean? Like the word way, why do they have the way capitalized? Well, the way is Jesus. So it's talking about him as a being, as opposed to just, we're talking about go that way. So it's neat to do this with friends. If you are having trouble getting a group of friends, let me know. I can give you some hints about how to begin a group for yourself. But just doing one chapter of one book a week has been really, really, it's been really cool because it's deepened my relationship and understanding of the word. And, I highlight with different colors. And there's all kinds of commentaries and things you can look up to to do it, but I suggest just reading it for yourself and letting the Spirit speak to you before you go and digging in commentaries and other people's opinions. Just be there, be alone, no distractions if you can, even if you have to hide in the bathroom as a mom. Sometimes they find you there too. But I know you're supposed to wake up early to do quiet time, but my best quiet time is like 11 p.m. So I'm trying to change habits this year. Cheer me on. Waking up early, going to bed early. We'll see. But yeah, that's just a little bit about how I read the Bible and what I do for my Bible time, notes, highlighting. Some Bibles are cool that they have all Jesus's words are in red. Who knew? That's awesome. But mine didn't, so I highlighted them in pink instead, so I know where Jesus spoke. But yeah, if you have never read a book of the Bible, or you just don't know what one to start in, a good one that I love to start people in or to start in is John. It's one of the Gospels. It talks about Jesus A to Z, and it's just been a really good book to go through. Really, really good book. John and then Acts is what I would suggest. So anyway, there's the book of the Bible. I have the song in my head now. These are the books of the Bible. If you know that song, let me know. If you know all the books in the Bible and you know that song, memorized it, that's awesome. Kudos. So have a great day. God bless.